Wendy! You seriously need to just let me into your amazing mansion already.
Bree, are we really going to have this conversation again? How many times have we gone over this already? You do realize that the only person you can blame for Mom and Dad disinheriting you is you, right? Why do we have to go through this every single time we talk?
And just what does that have to do with anything at all that I'm talking about, huh?
I mean that I'm living with Mom and Dad, and they've decided that they don't want to share anything with you anymore. Even though you're my sister and their daughter, you would still be an unwelcome guest here. Don't you get that?
But it's been 8 whole years since I've left home. And it's only after I leave that you all move out and into that amazingly huge house. It isn't fair.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except that a lot can change over 8 years.
Well, if so much has changed, then why am I still ostracized from everything the family does, huh?
The only person you should be asking for that answer is you. You steal your friend's husband and cheated with him in Mom and Dad's old house. Mom and Dad still haven't forgiven you for it, and quite frankly, neither have I. None of us even consider you a part of the family anymore.
But that's horrible! How can you do that when we are family?
Bree, let me try and break something down for you. The only reason that I haven't blocked you on everything yet is so that I can try and field your calls and save our parents the efforts of doing so. But the truth is that I want nothing more than to block your number right now. I don't think of you as my sister. Mom and Dad don't think of you as their daughter, and you need to get used to that.
No! How can you just expect me to accept something like that? I will find a way to live in that huge house, if it's the last thing I do. Do you understand me? Wendy, are you there? I know that you're home, thinking you're so much better than everyone else on Earth, just because you get to live in that huge mansion. But that's not going to last for much longer. How does it feel, knowing that soon you're not going to be able to live there anymore?
Bree, again? Seriously? Just what on earth could you possibly be talking about this time? Are you still trying to find a way to live here with us?
Of course I'm still trying. More than that, I'm succeeding. I did a lot of looking into just what you're up to these days, Wendy.
You looked into me? Okay then. Just what did you find out that's got you acting so high and mighty?
Well, I know that you're engaged to be married, right? And that your fiancé is some 38-year-old guy named Barry, right?
That's all correct.
So you're telling me that even a 40-something-year-old hag like you can back a younger man? We both know that to the average eye, the age difference might not seem like much, but getting any kind of younger man is a win for a woman.
Bree, literally, what are you even talking about?
I mean that, conversely, a man would naturally want a younger woman for himself. That's why I've gone out and stolen Barry from you.
Wait, stolen? As in... Bree, please tell me you're not saying what I think you're saying.
Well, I had to do something to find a way to live in that big house of yours. And I know that the only reason you moved in there was because you married Barry. And he suggested moving in with Mom and Dad in that big house.
Just what is your obsession with trying to live in a house built for at least a whole family to live in?
Well, when I stole my friend's husband all those years ago, I was planning on moving into this huge house. But then, turns out that the house was actually owned by my friend and her family. And so, that was never going to happen as long as with that old guy.
So then you're telling me that the whole reason you ruined your friendship and stole that man from your best friend was for a house? And now you've gone and done the same thing to your own sister?
Ding, ding, ding! You guessed it!
Okay, well, I don't know how else to say this, but you're not gonna be living in this house just by stealing Barry from me.
Please. I did my homework this time. You're not going to be able to try and confuse me now. I know that the house you're all living in now is signed for by Barry. And since I've gone and stolen him from you, that means that soon he's going to tell you that he can't marry you anymore. And then you'll all have to leave. And I bet you've had quite some time to accumulate things to fill up all that empty space in a house like that. It's not going to be easy moving out of there. I'll give you all until the end of the month. Go ahead and tell Mom and Dad about this too. Let them know that if they want to keep living in that big house, that they're going to have to put me back in their will. And apologize for the way they treated me the past 8 years. But as for you, Wendy, you're going right out to the streets where you'll have to find for yourself.
Bree, I really just don't get it. What happened to turn you into such a covetous, selfish, mean person?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
Well, first of all, you know that both you and Barry are liable to be sued by me for your affair, right?
Of course I know that. But I also know that Barry's family is filthy, stinking rich. And that however you want from us is going to be nothing to him. I'm never going back to the way I was 8 years ago when I left the house drowning in debt. And just the clothes on my back.
If you don't want to end up like that again, then I don't see why you insist on engaging in these wild schemes of yours.
Ugh, I already told you that it's always been a dream of mine to live in a huge house like the one that you're in now. I'm not pulling any schemes. I'm just taking the most important steps to achieving my dreams. I worked hard over the past 8 years to pay off all my debt. Just to find out that you were living in the lap of luxury this whole time. Well, that isn't fair. We're sisters. Why do you get everything handed to you on a silver platter while I've had to work for all that I have now?
Are you really trying to accuse me of getting favorable treatment over you?
All I'm saying is that I did my research into you. And I know the only reason you and our parents are able to stay in a house like that is all thanks to Barry. So, now that I've stolen him from you, that means that I'll be the one getting to live there and not you.
I don't get it. You've come so far and been through so much, and yet it seems like you've still learned nothing. I mean, if you know that you can work that hard on your own merits, why not just find a regular job and buy your own place?
Because why would I when I've already found a man who'll give me what I want and who's head over heels in love with me? We're both a woman. We know that there's many different ways to get what we want. What's it matter how I get things as long as I get them?
And that's really the best excuse you can give for all that you're doing right now?
Excuses or not, the fact of the matter is that I've stolen your man, and there's nothing you can do about it. Did you really think you were finally going to be getting married? At 42 years old? You're way past your prime. And you're going to do old and lonely. Now remember, you only have until the end of the month before you need to be out of there. And tell Mom and Dad that the same goes for them unless they don't agree to add me to their will.
I really just don't know what I'm going to do with you, Bree.
already way over the time limit that I gave you to move out of there. I want to move out and start my new happy life with new rich husband. Why aren't you gone yet? I'll give you 3 more days, and then I want you out of there. Do you understand me? Oh, Wendy! Just get out of the house already! Don't you realize that you lost? Barry doesn't want you anymore. You don't have the right to be there. Get out of the house right now! Hey! Seriously! What is your deal? Why aren't you leaving yet? Are you seriously just going to squat there forever? I've already packed up all my things, and the only person standing in my way right now is you. So get out already! And I am beyond furious with you right now. You are seriously going to make me take drastic measures now. I have no choice but to force you out of the house. Wendy, I'm home. I'm standing right outside the front door. Now you march out here and give up the house. I don't care where you go to live out the rest of your sad, lonely life, but it will not be here.
I was wondering if you were really going to try and pull something like this after the 3 days were up.
Of course I would. I always follow through with my threats.
Bree, I'm afraid that the only person living a sad, lonely life right now is Barry.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, that we officially canceled our engagement about a month ago.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't know. But that doesn't change anything, so get out!
It changes everything. Someone already moved out, and that person was Barry.
You're not making any sense. Just tell me what you're trying to say.
Barry is currently living in a tiny little apartment about 20 minutes outside of downtown.
I still don't understand what you mean by that.
I guess I'll start from the beginning for you. It's true that this house did used to belong to Barry's family, and the deed for the house was in Barry's name, but 6 months ago, I became the deed holder.
But why? How did that happen?
Well, Barry's business was doing really poorly at the time, and he started getting bogged down with debt. Then things quickly turned even worse, and he had to declare for bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy? Are you kidding me?
I am not, but I actually own and manage my own business, which is quite large, if I may say so myself.
Wait, what?
So Barry, knowing this, talked to me and agreed to lease the house to me on the condition that when he pays me back, I return it to him. I got him out of a lot of financial trouble by doing that.
No, this can't be right. You're lying to me. Are you?
If you look up Barry's company online, I'm sure you can see plenty of stories about the bankruptcy.
Wait. Oh no, it's true!
Yep, told you so.
But what am I supposed to do? This is my last day in my apartment. I've already returned my key and everything. Where am I supposed to live?
I'm sure that Barry could find some room for you in his place.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, I heard that he's renting with a building known for having some of the smallest apartments in the city, but I guess your options are that or homelessness.
But this isn't fair. I stole Barry from you fair and square. I was supposed to live in this big house, not you. It was my dream, and now it's all gone. Wendy, please pick up the phone. Are you really going to sue me after I've been through so much? I just paid off all my debts. and feel like I could finally breathe again. Why are you instantly going to saddle me with more? I went to Barry to ask for help and he said that he didn't have anything for me. Please, I'm begging your help here. You're my older sister. You have to do something.
Sometimes you just save people when they have their mind set on something, even when it's completely wrong. But thanks to her stubbornness, Wendy made the same mistake of sleeping with the spouse of the person who owned the house she was trying to steal twice. I worry about my sister often, but I just can't pity her at all when she lands herself in the exact trouble she blames on everyone around her. It's true, I did sue her and Barry for their affair. Part of the fees charged to them also included the cancellation charges for my wedding plans with Barry. They both had to split the sum of around $100,000. I wondered if Bree had felt like her life was just set back another 8 years. Although I'm sure if she did it once, she could get herself out of debt again. I just hope that she learned her lesson this time.
Hey, Deb. You have some real nerve. Do you know that? I mean, really, just what kind of game are you trying to play here? I want to know why you're hanging out with my fiancé so much. Just what are you getting at? Wait, what? What is all this about? Who even are you and how did you get my number? Wait a second, I recognize the name now. Isn't this Lindsay? We used to work together, right? I remember now, I used to be your supervisor. That's right. I'm glad you deem me worthy enough to remember. But what I want to know is just what do you think you're doing hanging around with my boyfriend all the time? Your boyfriend? I don't even know who that is. Oh, don't you play dumb with me. You're not fooling anyone at all, you know. Just come out and admit it. You've been stalking my boyfriend for a long time now, and I know it. You think that I'm stalking someone? I literally don't even know the person who I would be stalking. This is just ridiculous. What's ridiculous is the fact that you're almost 50 years old now, right? So what I want to know is why an old hag like you is hanging around with a young man in his 20s. Don't you see how wrong that is for you to do that? Look, Lindsay, I can promise you that I'm not stalking anyone at all, okay? You're lying to me and I know it. I've seen you do it myself so many times. I know that you're stalking my boyfriend, and it is seriously starting to piss me off, so just quit it. I still literally don't even know who you're talking about right now. I talk to and hang out with a lot of different people, so it's possible that your boyfriend is one of those people, but you still haven't even told me who that is. Tall guy, always wears a suit, broad shoulders. Does that ring enough bells for you? I work in an office where everyone wears suits, so no, if that's all you have to describe this person, then I still have no clue. Why don't you just tell me this person's name so we can stop playing this text version of Guess Who? You really think that I'm going to use my boyfriend's name in a conversation with his stalker? I wouldn't dream of it. Well, that's your choice, I suppose. But I just really think that this is the least effective way to go about doing this. I don't remember asking your opinion on that. Just make sure that you keep away from my boyfriend. Do you understand me? I literally don't understand you because first of all, I'm not stalking anyone, and second of all, I'm married. I literally have a husband and a son. I don't believe this. You're even worse than I thought. You mean to tell me that you have a loving family at home and you choose to go after my poor boyfriend? Although, I bet if I had to guess, my boyfriend would probably have to be around the same age as your son. Which makes all of this even worse. You're disgusting trying to go after someone your son's age. You're an old, washed-up cow and you need to learn to stick to your own age bracket. Got it? I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell you that there is no stalking going on before you believe me. Shut up! I am sick and tired of having this conversation. Just make sure that you never, ever go near my boyfriend. Ever again. Oh, David, I'm home.
Welcome back, Mom. I really missed you. I can't believe your work sent you on an overseas business trip for 6 whole months.
Thank you, son. It really is nice to be back. I can't believe that I was gone for so long either. You know, I was actually supposed to arrive yesterday, but the weather was just awful. And then there were technical problems with my plane, and it was just a disaster.
Well, I'm just glad that you're back today. After all, I'm getting married tomorrow, and I was worried that you weren't gonna make it when you told me you were pushing your arrival back.
I really am sorry for worrying you. I was pretty worried about missing it myself. More than that, though, I feel so bad that I haven't been able to meet your fiancé once. I know that you both started dating a while before I left, but we were always so busy, and then I left for my trip.
Well, don't worry. You two will have plenty of time to get to know each other from here on out, and you'll finally get to meet her at the wedding. I've told her all about you, so I think you should just rest up and get ready for tomorrow.
That's very sweet of you, David. And yes, I really should go get some rest and prepare for tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for the big day.
Have a nice night, Mom.
You too, sweetie. I'm so proud of you. Okay, now you've really gone too far, Deb. Just what the heck do you think you're doing at my wedding right now, huh? I thought I told you to stay away from my boyfriend, so why are you here on my big day? Please don't tell me that the boyfriend you were telling me to stay away from back then is the same man that you're marrying now. Of course it is. David's my fiancé, and by the end of the day, he'll be my husband. But before that can happen, I needed to make sure that you left so you didn't ruin the whole thing. I know that you were up to something. And is that really your excuse for what you did to me? The moment you saw my face, you grabbed me by the collar and dragged me out of the venue and threw me on the lawn. Then, when I tried to get back in, you told the staff to make sure that I didn't step a foot inside. Just what are you trying to pull with that, huh? What do you mean, what am I planning? My plan is to keep an old cradle robber like you out of my wedding so that I can marry my fiancé in peace. Be that as it may, I'm only here to watch my son get married. Well, you must have gotten the wrong place, because the only wedding happening here today is ours. That's exactly what I mean. This is the wedding that I'm trying to attend. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have no idea what you're saying. Maybe you're already getting Alzheimer's, you old hag. Let me spell this out for you then. David is my son. I am David's mother. Get it now? Wait, what do you mean by that? Okay, let's make this even simpler. My last name is Fairbanks, right? David's last name is Fairbanks. Are you starting to put it together now? I don't know if you just never picked up on that, or just didn't bother to even ask to see a picture of your own fiancé's mother. And I'm also sorry that as his mother, I didn't make more of an effort to meet you. You're not making any sense at all right now, Deb. I mean, just how can David be your son? I guess the ages would make sense for you to be his mom, but just because you have the same last name doesn't mean you two are related. Besides, I remember that in the office you used to go by Baker. Right. Well, that was my maiden name. Your maiden name? Are you kidding me? I guess I'll explain all this to you too. When I first started working for the company where you later joined, I was unmarried, and all the paperwork there had me under my maiden name. Apparently, it would have been a lot of paperwork and a big hassle to edit everything in the system, so I just told my boss to not worry about it and keep using my maiden name for simplicity's sake. I think that if you ask around where you work for other women who started single and got married on the job, you'll see that this isn't uncommon. No, that can't be right. You're just making up excuses and trying to confuse me, aren't you? Do you really think that I'm going to be fooled by some perverted grandma like you so easily? Sounds to me like you just don't want to admit that I'm really David's mother. Of course I don't want to admit that, because it's simply not true. David told me that his mom manages her own company that deals with overseas trade. Basically, she's the total opposite of the sad, pathetic stalker that you are. She's actually done something with her life and owns her own company. She even went on a business trip for 6 months in another country. I doubt you've ever done anything like that in your life. And today is going to be the first day that I meet her.
Well, you were mostly correct about everything that you just said.
You mean like the part about you being a pathetic stalker? I'm well aware.
Anyways, why don't you go ahead and tell David that his mother has gone home?
Wait, what do you mean?
Just tell him that you and I had a chance to meet and that I went home afterwards.
I can't believe you're still trying to peddle this lie to me.
Hey, Mom, where are you? I've been waiting around since early this morning to see you. I really want you to come and meet Lindsay before everything starts.
Oh, we actually just met, dear. Didn't you hear from Lindsay?
What do you mean, so you're here already?
Well, about 20 minutes ago, I introduced myself, and she started screaming about how I was stalking you. Then she threw me out of the venue and prevented me from going back in. Just mention her old boss, Miss Baker. I'm sure she'll get the message.
Lindsay said that you were stalking me. I don't get it.
She did, and now I'm on my way to the emergency room.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, when she threw me out of your wedding, I tripped down some stairs and fell on my knee. It's starting to swell up a bit, so I think I need to get it checked out.
But I don't get it. Besides, didn't you come with Dad? Where is he?
Your dad was busy parking the car, and then apparently he forgot something and had to go back to the parking lot. It was all while he was away that this happened. But he's with me now and taking me to the hospital. Anyways, if you wouldn't mind telling Lindsay that I'm actually your mother, I think it would save us all a lot of time.
Right, got it.
This can't be happening. I don't believe it. You really were his mother this whole time. Why didn't you tell me before I did what I did?
But I did tell you. I explained to you in great detail, actually.
But you should have done more to make me understand.
Well, I wanted to tell you in person, but before I could get a word out, you threw me down the steps. After that, I had no choice but to type it all out for you. Except you decided to ignore all of that and continue to treat me like a stalker.
But that's only because I really did think you were lying. I mean, I thought that you were just some jealous old lady who quit because she knew she couldn't compete with me. But I had no idea that you left to start your own business and travel all over the world.
Well, you basically took the words from my mouth. I only left that old job to start my own business. Me quitting didn't have anything to do with you, though.
It didn't at all?
Although I do remember you quite clearly from those days, and it doesn't seem like you've changed one bit.
Well, please come back to the wedding. It's okay now that I know you're really David's mom. I believe you now.
I'm afraid I couldn't do that if I wanted to. I'm at the hospital right now because of what you did to my knee.
So, you won't come back? David, please, you have to reconsider. I really am so sorry. I didn't do it to be mean. I just made a little mistake.
I just want to ask one thing, Lindsay. When you saw me walk up to you with my mom, did you really think that I was just having a casual chat with a woman who was stalking me? It's not like I haven't shown you any picture of my mom. Did you really just not realize that her and my so-called stalker were the same person?
I just don't remember, that's all.
You've got to be kidding me.
I really didn't know they were the same person.
Even if you didn't, you acted before you even bothered checking who my mom really was. You didn't even try to use your words or act like a responsible adult. And that's why I knew that I just couldn't marry you.
Please, we can still make this work.
Maybe you can, but I can't. I never want to hear from you again.
When I got to the hospital on the day of what was supposed to be my son's wedding, I was grateful that my doctor said my knee wasn't seriously injured. Apparently, Lindsay somehow heard that the injuries were quite light and tried to use that to get David to take her back.
She told him that I was going to make a full recovery and that in the end there was no permanent damage, so there was no point in canceling the marriage. In response, David told her that he was going to send her my hospital bills as well as the cancellation fees for all their wedding plans. When she heard just how much that was going to be in total, she knew she couldn't pay it and begged even harder to put this all behind them. Of course, my son just ignored her, but Lindsay didn't give up and continued to follow David around, begging him to take her back. Finally, David felt like he had no choice but to go to the court and ask for a restraining order from his crazy stalker.